I've got the top 30 starting pitchers in fantasy baseball coming up next on Beat the Odds. Don't go anywhere. Hello, sports fans, and welcome back to another episode of Beat the Odds. I'm going to count down the top 30 starting pitchers that you should target in your upcoming fantasy baseball drafts. If you like this content, please smash that like button, and a special thanks goes to all of our subscribers who have been watching these videos, as you now account for 26% of all viewers. To the other 74% of viewers that haven't yet subscribed, I encourage you to do so as it helps me create these videos for you. Also, leave a comment on a player that you think deserves to be on this list. This episode is brought to you by Thrive Fantasy Sports. Use the promo code BEATTHEODDS to double your first deposit up to $250. And first-time users get a free square. Like tonight, if you bet on LeBron to score 1 point and he does, then you win. Now let's get this list started with numbers 30 to 26. At 30, we have Justin Steele. 29 is Joe Musgrove. Then we got Walker Buehler, Joe Ryan, and Kyle Bradish. Steele had a great rookie campaign, but he faded down the stretch. Joe Musgrove's shoulder is a concern, but if he can reach 150 innings pitched this season, he will be a steal. Buehler's return from Tommy John will likely be delayed past the start of this season. Joe Ryan was a beast in the first half of the season, but he had an ugly second half. Bradish is my favorite from this set. He's shown good command of his pitches, and pitching in Baltimore certainly helps him regress his home run totals from right-handed batters. The next 5 players we have are Jesus Luzardo, Zach Eflin, Bobby Miller, Yuri Perez, and Grayson Rodriguez. Eflin had a great season as the last man standing in the rotation in Tampa Bay. Miller's going to get all the run support that he can handle pitching for the Dodgers. I think Perez's stuff is good enough to be an ace on that squad here at some point in his career. Rodriguez flourished in the second half after stumbling out of the gates and being sent down. But I'm going to be keying in on Jesus Luzardo. He faded a bit down the stretch, but he hasn't surpassed 100 innings in a season before last year. I expect that the flame-throwing lefty is going to finish strong this season. At number 20, we have Logan Gilbert. 19 is Kodai Senga. Next is Blake Snell. Then we have Logan Webb and Max Fried to round out the next 5 here. Gilbert is an effective innings pitcher in a pitcher's park. Snell has had a phenomenal season last year, but his walk rate always concerns me. Webb is the ace of the Giants staff. He'd be higher up on this list if he could strike out a few more batters. Fried's inability to rack up innings limits his upside, but if he gets 170 innings pitched here this season, he would be a steal as well. I like Kodai Senga, specifically his forkball. He has a 95 mile-an-hour plus fastball and a healthy 12 mile-an-hour drop on his forkball, which batters hit a measly 110 off last year, and he happens to strike out 110 batters with it as well. At number 15, we have Framber Valdez. At 14, we have Yoshinobu Yamamoto. 13 is Freddie Peralta. 12 is Aaron Nola, and at 11 is Tyler Glasnow. There's a lot to like about these 5 pitchers. Valdez is a workhorse, and he makes the most out of his pitch mix. Peralta had a fantastic bounce-back season, and he's going to be among the league leaders in strikeouts this year. Nola was hit hard last season, but he should be able to bounce back. Glasnow is one of the nastiest pitchers in the league, but he carries probably the biggest injury risk going into this season. I'm most interested in Yamamoto. He only walked 28 batters in 171 innings pitched last season, leading to a 1.16 ERA. His secondary pitch command is what's going to really translate well once he hit the majors. All right, let's go to number 10. We have Tariq Skubal. Last season, he pitched 80.1 innings, 7 wins, 102 strikeouts, 2.80 ERA, .90 whip. He might have his workload monitored this season now that he's 1 year removed from surgery on his left flexor tendon, so I wouldn't really expect 200 innings from him. But Skubal's career stats show us that he could be a stud this season with great velocity from the left side and incredible command. His final starts in 2023 were no fluke. If it wasn't for the team he plays on, Skubal could have been even higher on this list. Going to number 9, we have Zach Gallen. Pitched 210 innings last season, 17 wins, 220 strikeouts, 3.47 ERA, and a 1.12 whip. Gallen added 33.2 innings on top of that total here last season in the postseason, which has some questioning if he might have some lingering effects of that here this year. There is that risk, but it's prevalent in most frontline starters, so I wouldn't really concern myself too much with that. Gallen has proved that he can carry rotation, and I expect no different heading into 2024. I might expect a slight drop in his innings pitched though this season, which might conserve his ERA a little bit. To number 8 we go. We have Pablo Lopez, 194 innings pitched last season, 11 wins, 234 strikeouts, 3.66 ERA, 1.15 whip. His strikeout percentage spiked to 29.2, which was the highest in his career last year. He was in the 96th percentile for pitch extension, which allows pitches to seem quicker coming to the plate. Couple that with a 6% walk rate, and it's no surprise that his xERA was 66 points lower than the 366 he posted last season. Lopez should see a full workload for the Twins as their de facto ace. I don't think his strikeout rate will be sustainable, but he should be good for at least 9 strikeouts per 9 innings. Let's go to number 7. We have George Kirby, 190.2 innings pitched last season, 13 wins, 172 strikeouts, 3.35 ERA, and a 1.04 whip. If you can control the number of base runners that hit the bases while pitching at a notorious pitcher's park, then you will be successful. In 190 plus innings of work last season, Kirby walked 19 total batters. 19, that's it. Kirby's control is his calling card. He also pitches to contact, and while he does give up some hard contact from time to time, the park dimensions and his defense behind him will keep him into games. Moving on to number 6, we have Luis Castillo. Last season, he had another 197 innings pitched, 14 wins, 219 strikeouts, 3.34 ERA, and a 1.10 whip. Castillo gets the leg up on Kirby with his ability to rack up strikeouts. Equipped with a premium fastball that baffles batters to a tune of a 165 batting average and a slider that garners a lot of swing and miss, Castillo is fully able to continue the success that he has had in the Seattle rotation. If he can get his changeup to dip more, he would be absolutely lights out and could be in the conversation for an AL Cy Young this year. Let's go to number 5. We have Kevin Gausman. Last season, he had 185 innings pitched, 12 wins, 237 strikeouts, 3.16 ERA, and a 1.18 whip. Gausman saw his walk rate rise to 7.2% last season, but he was still able to piece together a formidable campaign. Equipped with one of the nastiest split finger pitches in the game, hitters know it's coming on two strikes, yet Gausman still racks up 122 strikeouts last season with that pitch. He's going to throw the fastball or the split 90% of the time, and it just works for him. Expect similar results this season. Let's go to number 4. We have Zach Wheeler. Last season, he had 192 innings pitched, 13 wins, 212 strikeouts, 3.61 ERA, and a 1.08 whip. Armed with a 95-plus four-seamer and a sinker and a 90-mile-an-hour cutter with 2 different curveballs, it makes it really difficult to know which pitch to sit on when you face Wheeler. He was a little unlucky last season, so I would expect that we should see a dip in the 3.61 ERA that he posted. He should be considered the ace of the Phillies rotation this year, and I would hope that we can get 200 innings from this workhorse. To number 3 we go. We have Corbin Burns, 193.2 innings pitched last season, 10 wins, 200 strikeouts, 3.39 ERA, and a 1.07 whip. What makes Burns so successful is that he doesn't really throw a traditional fastball. He has a 94-mile-an-hour cutter that he throws 55% of the time, and batters hit a paltry 209 against it. Furthermore, when you incorporate pitches with so much movement, you'd figure that pitchers would have a harder time keeping it in the strike zone. Burns had an off year with his command, but yet he still posted a respectable 8.4 walk rate. To number 2 we go. We have Garrett Cole. Last season he had 209 innings pitched, 15 wins, 222 strikeouts, 2.63 ERA, and a 0.98 whip. His fastball dropped a full mile per hour last season, and batters still only hit 201 against it. His second best pitch, the slider, saw batters hit 185. When you can command those 2 pitches the way Cole can, it's no wonder why Cole won the AL Cy Young last season. He's going to be in the running for that for a long time, as you can depend on him to turn on quality outings every time he toes the rubber. And finally, at number 1, we have Spencer Strider. Last season, he had 186.2 innings pitched, 20 wins, 281 strikeouts, 3.86 ERA, and a 1.09 whip. Many are enamored by Strider's upper 90s fastball, but it's actually his off-speed pitches that he uses to rack up his strikeouts. His slider is lethal, and it induces a weak 156 batting average with 132 strikeouts that he got on that pitch alone. His changeup, when he throws it, is even more unhittable to a tune of a 122 batting average. Batters are forced to gear up for his fastball, which is why he got hit on it a little bit last season. But as long as he's got a 35 strikeout rate here, he is going to be able to cover for any mistakes that he might throw. And that's going to do it here for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. I am going to sign out for now, but I will see you guys on the next episode.